Hello fellow students, welcome to our online open day at International Business School Maastricht. I'm Kathy, I'm a second year student, and this is Frank, one of our business coaches. Today we would like to present you our approach that we are taking here at International Business School Maastricht and also answer your questions, which you can just drop in the chat box. In languages like Dutch, English and French are possible. We have students that will answer your questions while we're presenting our approach that we use here at the school.
So, thank you,
Frank.
Kathy.
Yes.
So, introduction, maybe some general things. International Business School Maastricht, 800 students, 48 different nationalities. That's also the reason you probably have a good chance when you do it in your home native language, the chat, that we can give an answer. But we have a little bit a different approach than maybe you are used at. So we don't have traditional classes, we don't have a schedule, and we have a reason to do that. We developed a student in the lead concept, meaning that our didactical approach is based on the world we are living in. The world is changing rapidly, and meaning that we, as a program, International Business School, we have to adapt these changes in the world. The technology changes, the cultural changes we have. So that's the reason that we really think that based on personal intrinsic motivation, students can develop themselves much more than just listening to a teacher and do an exam and pass an exam with a grade. And that's where we're going to tell you a little bit about. So also welcome from my side. As told already, my name is Frank. I'm one of the coaches. And Kathy, can you tell me something about what if you could learn by doing and all those bullets we have over here?
Yeah, what if you can actually decide to create your own path? It was so random to me. I'm like, what do they actually mean with that? Coming from Germany, from a really traditional approach where I have to study out of books and then be prepared for the day that the exam is going to take place on, and then wait for my teacher to grade my performance. And if I really messed up, it's bad because it makes me feel bad for making mistakes. And here at International Business School Maastricht, they actually want you to make mistakes because that's where learning and progress and growth happens, which was so surprising and so confusing to get used to that I really struggled at the beginning. I do have to be serious for the first 2-3 months. I didn't understand the approach. I wasn't sure if I could get used to it, but working together with even third-year students, second-year students, which you have the opportunity to here at Zuyd, you're allowed to see how other students that were also once first-year students created their path along those 3 years, 3 till 4 years that you have.
And Kathy, I see also this bullet, if you get feedback instead of just grades. Can you tell me something more about that?
Yeah, of course. It's going to be a challenge, I have to say, because you have to be ready to accept feedback. You have to be ready to give honest, constructive feedback, not to your fellow students, but also you will get feedback from the coaches. So along your study path, for example, in your first year, you're going to deliver a certain performance. You're going to work on different challenges, which we will explain a little further in a bit. And based on that path and based on your growth, you're going to go up to your coach and ask, can you help me here? I'm a little bit stuck. Or can you please evaluate my performance until here? Would you do it a little bit different? Would you recommend something else? So you will get feedback. It doesn't always have to be positive, because if it's always positive, there's no need to improve, right?
Sure. Kathy, see this bullet, if you get feedback instead of grades, does it mean you don't have a written exam like you had at school?
That's totally true. And some of you might react really happy to that. And I was also really happy. But it may be really challenging instead of studying for an exam, delivering, and then you're done with it. This is not going to happen at International Business School Maastricht. You really have to keep performing, keep showing, keep growing. And based on that long process, you collect your feedback. And feedback allows you to grow, change direction, do things differently. So yeah, this is your grade, let's say.
And that's true, because we really believe that assessment as learning, meaning that assessment shouldn't be an ending point of a learning process. It should be a learning process where you're continuously in. So meaning that during this development and feedback process, asking feedback of everyone and the different kinds of people, you just grow. And we have a moment, we call that a moment of shine, not an exam, where you just have, you get a grade for the period past where you had some feedback and worked on challenges, etc. So, no paper cases.
No, not at all.
Not challenges I tell you to do.
No, it's really taking action and making things happen. Not on paper, but in the real world. Because you're dealing with real businesses that actually exist. You go up to businesses, or the business owner comes to International Business School Maastricht and presents the case or the problem that he's currently struggling with. And then it's up to you as motivated students to say, I have the right idea for this one. I'm going to take on this challenge. You come up with a plan, you do your research, and at some point you will get to a solution that you're really proud of and that made you grow and develop your knowledge even. And at a certain time you go to the business owner and pitch your idea. Obviously it's up to him whether they're going to apply this idea or not, but you learned from the process and you did your best, the best you can. Actually.
Yeah, and together with other students from other years, so you're working also with fourth year, third year, second year and first year students together. So also you can learn from each other.
Exactly.
And you are a problem solver.
Yeah.
You call it researcher, but let's call it a problem solver. And business has a challenge, a problem, and you want to solve that with your group.
Yeah, so the business owner is the challenge provider because it's his problem. And you're the one with your group together. As Frank said, there's going to be different people listening to the business owner and his problem. So there might be students from fourth year or third year that are also motivated and interested.
So it's not traditional where we as coaches or teachers say this is the case and then you have to do it. And then mostly a whole class is doing the same, but you don't have that over here.
No, not at all. Like if you walk around your class during your community day, which we will explain in more detail in a bit, what a community day is, you walk around and you hear all these different groups talking about the most different topics.
Nice.
Nice approach.
Yeah, the worlds. At IB, of course, we are a business school, so we have a framework where you have all freedom within this framework, and we call it the 10 worlds of international business. Yeah, I don't mention them. It's about, of course, the hard skills, marketing, finance, supply chain, etc. But mostly they are based on the personal development, the 21st century skills. We will come back later. I think it's next slide. And based on those worlds, our IB framework, there is your freedom in to do what you want to learn.
Exactly. And with different business challenge, you will see that you will tackle different worlds. So it can be a whole different combination of worlds. So you have marketing and finance, or one business challenge only targets marketing. And then you have another one that has marketing, finance, and supply chain. Obviously, they all build up on each other. So it's not a surprise that the world correlate.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like the universe.
Like the real world, huh? It's,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very nice. So, and I am not telling you to make a balance sheet or something, huh?
No, because if my business challenge and my business challenge provider, requires me to do a balance sheet, and if I need that to get to my solution that I want to offer to the business owner, then I will make one and get your feedback on it maybe. But it's not going to happen that a coach comes up to you and says, deliver a balance sheet in 2 days. No, it's not going to happen. If you don't need it, you don't need to make it. But if it will contribute to the end results, then you will have to.
But also then the latest hype we have, the GPT hype with artificial intelligence, you go also now in areas where we as coaches or teachers never went.
No, exactly. And this is our opportunity to actually teach you something.
Thank you so much. My day is always so good when I learn from you.
There you go.
Yeah.
You inspire us, we inspire you.
Yes. So then we have the student in the lead. That's the name of our concept, and it's based on some principles. A principle of business challenges, events, community days, and other working days. You did already mention all, but in summary, you have to acquire your own business challenges. So we don't do that for you. Of course, we have connections. We have, as international business, an international business network where you can go for challenges, but also go for expertise, to ask people working in the working fields to give feedback to you, so that there is an integration of the know-how at that moment in the working field with you, our program. Yeah? Yeah. Based on those challenges, you work together in a group, mostly, but you as an individual student, you define your own individual learning goals, what you want to learn. And sometimes in the same channels, if we work together in one challenge, then I want to develop myself more as a project leader or a project manager, because that's my development point. I'm very weak at that. And you want to develop, for example, more the working capital calculation of the cost per sale or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone wants to get something out of something different out of a business challenge. So I know how confusing it can be when we say business challenge, and especially when Frank says we're not giving you any business challenge, you have to go look for them yourself. No problem, you can relax. It's not that as hard as it sounds. You can really, in your first year, start off just local, look around, even go to events that are hosted by business owners or by business experts, or even by students. Their parents might own a business that struggles maybe with something. So he's like, oh, okay, I can use that as my business challenge. I'll take it to International Business School Maastricht, give a presentation about it and what we struggle with. Maybe some students want to help me on a solution, and we can deliver that solution to my parents.
Okay, exactly. So events support you once, 2 days a week, community, you already talked about it, and the other days, yeah, you work, but you also learn from your work, because you work with different nationalities.
Yeah, and everything I learn here, I can apply at my work.
There, and vice versa.
Exactly.
And meaning, yeah, we are open from Monday morning 9 a.m. till Friday afternoon 5 p.m. And in that whole process, you have all those activities. So grading, not good or bad, but more how did it go? It's really reflecting on, and that's also that we don't call it an exam, but we really call it a moment of shine. Yes, no written exams, but individual grading. So for 10 years I was a teacher in the traditional system, and then we had group work, and then we had biggie bagging. So meaning that we always were wondering that students not so good came till the 4th year, because they were leaning on the quality of the other students in the group. That's not possible anymore.
No.
Maybe a disadvantage for you, hopefully not, but it's really about developing yourself.
Exactly.
Based on the center, this game changer, or change maker, but I really prefer to say game changer, where the 21st century skills, they are really needed. This is the basic of your development when you come in, your personal development. And based on that, you go into ethical things, research, and based on research, you come in the world of the know-how of that moment. Yeah.
I think it's really important to highlight that you have to have the right attitude for this program. It can be for some students that you realize, okay, I don't think I'm made for this program. I think I will rather stick to the traditional. And that's okay. It's a realization. But we hope for you to realize that, and we hope with this presentation to make it clear how or what are important. And are you ready? That's up to you to decide, okay, I think I'm ready to take that step and be responsible and disciplined, because these are going to be major factors, and decide and hopefully avoid that you during the first year say, okay, this is really not what I expected.
So I want to be inspiring people, but also be inspired by people, by students, by the external working field, we already told. But this freedoms also means discipline. So what happens if you don't do anything over here?
It's a very, very simple answer. Nothing. really, just like that. No one is going to come and knock on your door and get you out of bed. It's up to you, really. So that's why I said it's important for you to decide, do I have this attitude or not? So if you don't show up for a month, it can be that you can get an email from your coach and say, I miss you at community days. Say you're gonna be here soon. Can be. But that doesn't mean you have to come the next day. It's up to you. You make your decisions, you're in the driver's seat, and you decide which path to go. So coaches are just waiting for you to come and approach them and get their feedbacks on stuff that you're working on, not the other way around.
So the guidance, it's the personal coach we talked about. We have experts, fellow students, very important that you can learn from each other. We call that peer learning, learn from each other.
Yeah.
You work with all years, we call it levels, first year, second year, third year, fourth year students. But also you learn a lot from this working field because you continuously work in a real business world. No paper cases, no books. You can use a book, but you work together with this real world we are living in right now.
And you will be surprised how much you actually learn from working with other people and really connecting with different cultures and with different level people, because there's also going to be students from third year. And some people need a different approach of communication than others, and that's for you to realize and then adopt this, just like it's going to be when you step into the business world.
And then, going abroad.
You! Almost there. In August, I'm going to Australia to do my internship. That's the opportunity you have also at International Business School Maastricht, which I'm super excited about. I will do a 6-month marketing management internship there. Excited for all the connections, communication, to see a new culture. Obviously, I didn't have to, because I'm already abroad here in the Netherlands. I'm from Germany. But, I mean, I have the opportunity just once in a lifetime, so I want to take it on as long as I can and see where it's going to lead me and take me.
Yeah. And during the whole presentation, you can see also a small, I think it's a vlog of our student Max, doing currently also an internship abroad. So
in the Philippines,
take a watch.
At the beach, which I'm really jealous about.
Yeah, but you're in Australia with all those Aussies.
Exactly.
Good. Yeah, a summary. All those stages we have, phases called, but we call it levels, level 1, 2, 3. You work all together also with interns, because Kaffie maybe goes to Australia, but she can have an assignment over there where she can use the students in the Netherlands, so the community students, and they work together, so it's really very nice, very intercultural, 48 different nationalities, meaning that we have English as our company language, or school language, I should say, I don't know. Working together, where you really learn, when you come in, you will not sit apart. It's really like directly working together with students from here and there, and they will pick you up, they will integrate you in the system. And that's fun, because I see you always smiling during those community days. Tell me something about being at school.
Sometimes, obviously, I have the feeling, okay, today I'm not going to go to my community day, but then my discipline kicks in. Not every day, obviously. I'm just a human. But then I go, and I'm so happy and grateful that I went, because every time I go, really, maybe I don't get the things done that I was planning to get done, but I get so many new ideas. I get inspired by different ideas. I have some talks with my coaches that inspire me in a different way. So it's always a surprise what's going to happen at the community day, really. And then most of the times you get to know 2 to 3 new people, which will add in a different way to your growth or new challenge.
So, and then at the end,
we can throw our heads up in the sky.
Bachelor of Business Administration. We really want to thank you for your attention, and hopefully we see you next year. You will miss her or only see her online, because she is in Australia. I will be there together with 40 other colleagues and 800 other students.
Maybe I'll provide you with a challenge from Australia. As we mentioned before, one of our students is doing a graduation internship in the Philippines. And I think you are also a little bit curious about how that internship actually looks and what he does there. So he was kind enough to create a vlog about his experience there, and we have that vlog available for you now. So, hi Max, let us into your life.
Hey, I'm Max, third year student at International Business at Zuyd in Maastricht. And I'm here in the Philippines doing my graduation internship. And yeah, in this vlog I'm gonna explain my life here a little bit, how IB helped me to be here and try to work and learn a lot of stuff. And yeah, welcome to my vlog. Yeah, so the organization I'm doing my internship at is called Local Lab. It's a non-profit NGO here on Siargao Island, which focuses in general on empowering the local community here by means of making them more independent, giving them resources to better their lives. And the area on which I'm working on most is the school part. They're also building their own school, which is called the Tropical Academy. And it's very new, they just started this year, so there's a lot of implementations going on. And yeah, I'm using my skills I acquired during all my years at International Business to try and help them with the management, the advertising, the marketing, everything to try and build up this school and make it as successful as possible to help the local community here on the island. A usual day for me usually starts quite early. Life here on the island kind of starts when the sun gets up. Then you have some breakfast, work on, for example, the marketing strategy of how we're going to promote the school for a few hours. I'm also always going to put some time into my research paper that I work on over the stretch of the whole stretch of the internship. So that always takes an hour or two every day. And then around 3, maybe 4, the day kind of ends here. Everyone stops working, maybe goes to the beach. Surfing is a really popular sport here on the island, which I also try to practice a little bit. And also in the evening, the days usually end quite early, since when the sun goes down, there's not really a lot going on anymore on the island. So around 7, 8, everyone goes to sleep and is ready to get back to work around 6 the next day. So yeah. So living here in the Philippines on the island of Siargao also came with a lot of cultural differences compared to living back home, which I had to get used to as well. I think the two main differences on the first hand were the language. They speak Bisaya here, which I don't speak. So that was tough, especially in the beginning, to get used to that. To be around people that maybe don't speak English sometimes was difficult. Luckily, most people I work with, and actually most people around the island, speak at least a little bit of English, so I could still communicate with them through that. So that was one struggle. Another big difference is the work ethic, the way of working. Here is very different than back home. I know in the Netherlands everyone is really time bound, really strict time management. Everyone's really important to be on time. And if you make an appointment with someone, then usually that actually takes place. That's kind of a little bit different here on the island. I've had quite a few notices where you make an appointment with someone and then apparently it doesn't always happen the way you expect it. But I guess it's also something you learn from a lot, and that not everything is the same as in your own culture. So I think those are the two main big cultural differences I have faced here on the island.
Thank you, Max. Welcome back in Maastricht. Now we are going to my colleague Betty, one of our business coaches, and Betty is together with 5 students, has a roundtable discussion, and please do not forget and use the chat.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our round table discussion. We are sitting in one of those community spaces at International Business School, Maastricht. And for those who might be interested in which time of the year it is finally spring shows its real face to us, and we have a very beautiful sunny day outside. My name is Betty, and I'm a personal and business coach at IB, and with an international background. Thank you everyone who joined us today. And let's introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having us. My name is Letizia. I am 23 years old. I'm from Venice, Italy, but I'm also half Austrian. And I'm currently from the February intake. I just started here, so.
Nice, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Sara. I'm also from Italy, and I'm 24 years old, but I live here in the Netherlands since 5 years. And I'm a second year student here at IB in my first semester.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacopo. I'm 19 years old. I'm 100% Italian, and this is my first year here at Zuyd.
Thank you for being here.
Hi everyone, I'm Daniel. I'm 20 years old. I was born in Venezuela, South America. This is my first year at Zuyd, and I started in September.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is also Sarah. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm from Venlo, and this is my first year, and I'm in my second semester.
Thank you. I would like to start with my favorite question, actually. Why did you choose to study at the IB at this program here? Anyone might be interested to answer this question?
Well, yeah. So I'm actually currently living in Belgium. It's around 45 minutes with the car. But I live with my uncle, and he's from Roermond. He's from the Netherlands. We came here last year to see the King's Day, and I just saw the city and I fell in love with it. Wow. I just saw the students outside, I saw the river, I just saw everyone celebrating, and I just fell in love with the city, and I automatically thought I need to study here next year.
Oh, what impression. Anyone else?
Yeah, for me it was kind of different. I went to Maastricht University last year, but the uni program didn't really fit my style, and then I applied here, and when I learned about the system I was immediately sold because it's really different, and I really like it so far.
Okay, great. This is a wonderful topic. We will catch up on that topic later. And anyone else would like to share why they chose this program?
Yes?
Yes. I actually moved here first only to work. I was not planning to come back to study, but after 3 years of working full-time, I decided to come back to study. So I actually didn't know what was the best faculty to choose. And then I was looking around here in Maastricht, and I found this Zuyd University of Applied Sciences, and I heard from my friend that it was a really nice faculty and really open to a lot of job opportunities. So I applied, and I was really curious to start, and yeah.
Interesting. Listening to your stories, I see everyone had the different, I think, the start point. They started differently, but now ended up we all are here trying to develop ourselves. Okay, I would like to go to my second question. Actually, I know that, okay, probably every one of you in different stage of the study, but I would like you to refer to your first semester. How was your experience at your first semester when you started at IB?
I can start.
Yes, please.
Personally, I struggled a lot at first because it was pretty different from what I used to do and what I expected. So I struggled a lot, but then I immediately made so many friends, especially with people of second year, and they really helped me to understand how it works, and they really helped me like so far. So it's been really nice.
Very nice.
Here, yeah.
Very nice to hear. Okay, and.
Well, I haven't been here for so long. It's only been a few months. However, well, as you already mentioned, it was very tricky, let's say, to adapt at first to, for example, how the system works, and also, of course, it's definitely a very different like learning process, like compared to other universities, where it's really like it's more you already get your own schedule, which you have to which you have to stick to, and here it's very independent. Which it's definitely great, but of course, it's definitely something you have to get used to. However, I also feel like it's been really fun when it comes to really tackling your own curiosity, because it's really, you get to choose on which topics you would like to work on, and which fields you would like to develop yourself in. So it's really like, it's a very fun learning process, and I feel like, I just wrote a report last week, and I feel like I got so much information from it, and I feel like I know so much about the topic, and it's been very, amazing. It's
Thank
really
you.
great.
Thank you for sharing your experiences. One thing I realized that you all are comparing the conventional system with this system. Probably our audience don't know that much about our system. Would you like to explain how much flexibility this IB program has, or how do you feel and relate to that? Because you also mentioned that you have so much possibility to follow your own curiosity or plan your own program. Yeah. Would you like to touch upon that?
Sure. I mean, in the program, there's a lot of flexibility. So then you have to make a choice. You have a lot of free time, and then you have to develop, thanks to that, a lot of discipline. Because as she said before, you need to know when you need to see the things that you want to learn, in which ways you want to learn it. So you really need to develop a way in which you can study the best way you can do it without procrastinating a lot. Going back as a topic we mentioned before, my first months were really a lot of procrastination, because I was used to the typical system 8 till 5.
Yes.
And once I got used to it, you really feel that you're learning a lot of things. You really feel that you're fulfilling your capacities. So it's quite nice.
Very nice, very nice. Would you like to add to those experiences?
Yeah, I think you have a lot of freedom, like also Letitia said, you can choose your own projects. And that's for me, because in university I really liked the courses, but like for me it didn't work that we had really strict schedules like that we had to follow. And here, for example, finance, if you don't like that, you can choose for which company you do it. And that makes it so much more interesting, because you know for what people you do, what impact it has. So I think that's a great benefit of this study.
Do you see anything that we can improve, optimize in our program, and you might don't like it at the moment? Hard to find, I see.
Probably not the program itself, at least like from my point of view. However, we really noticed that, for example, with students that also that were also from the February intake as I am, I feel like we weren't really given a lot of information when it comes to like how the system, like how Perigen works, for example, and how I don't know. I feel like we all just like we're really eager to learn and eager to start, so we just like jumped and applied to all sorts of business challenges. And right now we're very busy, which is nice, which is amazing, and of course there's a lot to learn. But it's I feel like it would have been nicer to get more information about it, so that we wouldn't have like jumped into everything right away, and just like I don't know, so that we would have had more of a smoother start, I guess. Yeah. But other than that, at least for my part.
Good to mention. Thank you. I heard that you mentioned a business challenge. Probably we are into the system and we know exactly what we are doing here, but our audience don't know that what is the business challenge is. Is anyone interested to explain what is a business challenge is?
Yeah, right. It is a challenge. So you challenge yourself to get to know something you like, and it's really free as well, a business challenge. You can set it up on your own, you can do it with a company, you can go to a company and say, hey, I want to do a challenge for you, and it's just kind of I would say something that you discussed you want to do, but then you're also free in how you want to do it, with who you want to do it. I guess it's a really broad term as well, but it's kind of like a project you work on.
Okay, very nice. And okay, back to this. I mean, is anyone can explain one of the interesting projects they worked or challenges they picked up and they really satisfied at the end and they were happy?
Okay, this is kind of project that I'm currently doing.
Okay.
It's not finished yet though.
Okay, I see.
With some friends and I, we were trying to create something like, so far it's a clothing brand. We were just doing as a theoretical project, but so far it's going really nice, and we don't really want to be the typical clothing brand that you will see. Like up to some point, I think everyone can come up with the brand. So we want to be a brand with a twist. I cannot mention it to not ruin the surprise, but it's really fun because you're learning about everything. Once you are entering into creating a brand, you really need to think about supply chain, finance, marketing. So it's really busy. There are a lot of things that you need to do, but at the same time, you're learning a lot without even realizing it because you like what you're doing.
I would like to round up our discussion, but I want to give you a challenge. Can you describe with 1 or 2 words how do you feel at IB? How do you see IB?
I would say definitely curiosity, because of course, well, as I mentioned before, I think it's a whole learning process that really involves your own curiosity, and yeah, so I think that's that's a huge part that comes with it when you apply to this study. And then I would also say it's probably going to sound a bit cheesy, but very empowering too.
Okay,
because
nice.
you also say, because I also feel like you, again, like it's also related to being independent and being able to really choose what you would like to focus on, kind of like build up your own professional career, like little by little while you're still studying. And so I think, especially for people our age, that just ends up being very empowering for us. So.
Very nice, very well said. This is my favorite topic, to be honest. I always keep saying that we need actually to stay focused to empower our future generation. And anyone else wants to label their feelings, experiences here in 1 or 2 words? Jacopo?
Yeah, sure. I would say independent first, as we have like much free time. But at the same time, my second word would be focus. Because of course, like you have lots of free time, but you have to be focused on what you're doing. Because I know that, like for example, there are people that are actually focused and they work really hard, while there are other people that take it maybe like less seriously, a bit. So that's why I would say independent, because you have lots of free time, but you have to have lots of time management.
Very well said. Sarah?
Yeah, I'm actually agree with them. I also think about, like, when I think about this program, I would say also like being independent, because it's almost everything up to you. I mean, you need to find your way to make progress and to choose the things that you like. And also, as Jacopo said, I think also focus, because really you need to focus a lot to not get lost or to get distracted or to be confused.
Actually, I realized that I started that we are sitting in the community space. And what is a community space actually?
It's a space where you can go with your fellow students and work on challenges and have meetings. You can also meet with coaches and ask them for feedback, because feedback are also really important in our study program. To go on and to get some grades, you have to ask feedback to the coaches or to a coach related to the challenge that you are doing, to see how you can go on and develop other new skills.
Okay, nice. And also, I'm wondering if we can give this image to our audiences, how a community space looks like, actually.
Ooh.
Can you explain?
So, I will say that it's really like a comfortable place, like it's equipped with all the things you need to be comfortable while studying or while working on your projects. So it's probably going to be quite colorful.
Okay, like here?
Yeah, basically. It's going to be probably quite colorful. Depending on which community room, it will be more quiet, maybe more loudly, because there's going to be a lot of people working on projects, working in teams, talking with each other. And there's always going to be a lot of coaches around. There are always going to be someone to guide you, someone that you can ask questions to. So you're not going to be alone. That's quite important.
Very good, very good. I would like to finalize our round discussion with very interesting question, I would say. And what type of students fit this program?
I would say somebody that definitely would be interested in stepping out of their comfort zone, and that is eager to learn, but at the same time that somebody that doesn't have everything figured out already, because it's a learning process. You don't have to know everything right away, and that's totally okay. So I would say somebody kind of like that.
Okay. And any more experience on that?
She said it perfectly. Someone that's really eager to learn and to improve themselves. That's the best example of someone that's really going to fit in here.
Yeah, and also you guys have your own pace. No one really follows you. Okay, where are you and what you are doing? You just I decided to do this. I decide when I'm going to finish. Okay, nice.
Yeah, I would say someone that wants to challenge himself. For example, because I've always lived with my parents. So I came here, I'm living alone, I'm studying alone, so I have to, actually plan everything, trying to make a consistent schedule and everything to study, but also have free time and everything. So it's been like a challenge since the first day, but honestly, I really like it and I like challenging myself.
Okay, let's watch together a short video about how a typical week at IB looks like.
At International Business, we educate the leaders of the future. We will show you how an average week of a student looks like. Meet Giulia, our student from Italy. Let's go, Giulia. Show us how your week looks like. On Monday, Giulia gets together with her community to work on different challenges and has the opportunity to ask advice of one of the business coaches. Hi, Giulia. What about Tuesdays? On Tuesday, Giulia works at home. She books an online inspiration session, Design Thinking, that she can attend this Thursday. That's it for today. Ready for Wednesday, Giulia? On Wednesday, Giulia meets up with her group and an expert on entrepreneurship and marketing that she has booked online. Afterwards, Giulia and her fellow students grab some lunch in the city centre, as they have a meeting at one of the companies where they are working on a business case. On Thursday, Giulia is working in the community space. Together with her fellow students, she talks about an interesting documentary on international trade with cryptocurrency. After lunch, she participates in the inspiration session Design Thinking. It's almost weekend. Let's see what's on the agenda for Friday. On Friday, Giulia gets together with students. In the afternoon, she participates in an online workshop, Social Media Advertising. After the workshop, it's time for the weekend and enjoy Maastricht to the fullest. Cheers, Giulia. Have a good one. And we will see you on Monday.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I admit this was a very short video. But in the meantime, we received a few questions from the live chat, which some students are in charge, are responding to those questions that students worldwide asking if they are why they are interested in joining IB. But I would like to ask those questions from the panel. And before we start, I would like to see, if you see we had a change. Sarah had an important meeting. She needed to go. And instead, Vlad kindly accepted to join the panel. Vlad, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Vlad. Sarah had an important meeting and I had nothing to do, so that's why I'm here. My name is Vlad. I'm first-year student. I'm oldest in IB, I think, for first students. I'm 25 or 26, I forgot already. It's a pretty nice experience. I like to study here. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, thank you for being here. Okay, I would like to start with one question in Vanessa from Italy. Actually, she questioned, what assessment methods are used in this program?
Yeah, Jacob actually said before that we had like 3 times at year one assessment. So actually last year we had one time 60 credits. So it was only one assessment where you mostly, instead of talking about your business challenges and what you have learned, it was mostly talking about your personal development and the growth that you did from the beginning until the end of the year. So like your personal development.
Okay, good.
Instead, this year we had 2 times 2 assessments, 2 times 30 credits.
Okay, so for the second level,
yeah, for the first year we have.
Yes, it's 3.
Yeah, we have 3, like twice the 15 credits and one the 30.
Okay, for the second is it?
We have 2 times 30.
Yeah, okay. Each year is different. We have kind of different assessment moments, I would say. Okay, thank you. Janice from Denmark. She has a very interesting question. Are placements or study abroad an offer? Where are they and how are they organized? Any one of you went to the study abroad so far?
Not yet.
Not so far.
Yeah, from what I know, you can choose pretty much between doing, you have to do an internship, and then the second one can pretty much be whether an internship or an exchange. And you can also choose to do it all in one go, so you could do 6 months and 6 months, so a total of 1 year abroad. And IB has contents in pretty much the whole world, so it's really, when it comes to choosing where to go to, it's really an open book, I think.
Okay, good to hear. Now that I'm looking to the question list, I see very interesting question, mostly related to how the living in Maastricht actually look like. As I mentioned before, the IB is located in a beautiful city, Maastricht, and we have some evidence. Myself, I'm an international coach actually. Now is a question from you actually, Thomas from Ireland. How is living in Maastricht like? Anyone is interested in to answer this? Yes, please.
Yes, I live in Maastricht already for 8 years. I'm also from other country. I'm from Ukraine. For me, it's really interesting because Maastricht is, how I know from history, is one of oldest city in Netherlands.
Yes.
It's so it has some vibe, some antique
Definitely.
vibe, and I like everybody smells good here, perfume, and this combination of this perfume with this antique, how to say it, buildings.
Yes.
It's good city.
Goes very well
Yeah,
together.
it goes very well. A lot of students, student city, young city. I like.
Okay.
It's really nice living here, but one thing I would advise to new students that they want to move to Maastricht is start looking for housing now. Don't wait until September or August because you're not going to find anything. As you want to move here, a lot of other students from this university and other universities also want to move here. So I highly advise to start looking for housing now, because if you're really thinking that you're going to come here in middle August with your suitcase and just find a home, keep dreaming. Just keep dreaming.
Oh dear. Hope doesn't happen to our students. Okay, what a coincidence. The students Vlad from Poland asked, okay, how expensive is living in Maastricht?
Well, I feel like it really depends what you're looking for. Of course, a student house with like a shared space is going to be way cheaper than a studio in the city center. So it really depends. I feel like all rents sort of start off from, like, I don't know, 350 euros, like up from 350 euros. What I would also, if I do have an advice, if you're looking for housing and you see that you cannot find anything, or you see that maybe the prices are way too high in Maastricht, then there's also a possibility to rent a place close by Maastricht in Belgium, which is really close by, is like 15 minutes, not 50, but 15 minutes by bike. And it's also really close to uni. So yeah, I guess that would be my tip. But it really depends what you're looking for.
Okay.
And if you need any help to find like any website, you can send an email to the school and they will reply with all the website of where you can find houses.
Very good, very good. Very valuable information. Thank you, Jacopo. And following to that, the same kind of a question, Ian from Austria actually asked, what are the living costs next to the housing actually for international students in Maastricht?
In my opinion, depends like where are you from.
Okay.
So for example, I'm from Italy, and it's like, for example, some kind of food are way cheaper in Italy than here. And also because here, like when you find a job, you get paid more. So that's why like here life is quite more expensive to buy groceries and everything. But I think it really depends like where are you from. Because if you're from another country, maybe some kind of food could be more expensive in your country than in here. So it really depends.
It also depends on lifestyle, right?
Yes.
How you want to live. You can live expensive here, you can live not.
Okay.
So.
And how about you?
Yeah, I'll second the thing he said. It really also depends on the lifestyle you have. You had a lot of options. You can go the cheap way or not the cheap way. And it really plays a role a lot of how you develop your lifestyle here.
Okay, good. Actually, I see that another interesting question. Is it easy to find a student job even I do not speak the language?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Yes?
No English?
She
No
didn't,
Dutch.
no, she didn't mention. Just.
Well, without language, no, sorry. But English need to be, right?
Oh, okay, definitely English, because they are going to apply for this program. And we assume they have a good level of English.
But I wouldn't worry too much about it if you don't speak Dutch. I feel like Maastricht, at the end of the day, is a very studenty city. There's over 50,000 students that live here and that study here. So it's obviously very international, and therefore there's a lot of opportunities. And if you don't speak the language, that's totally fine. I also work part-time. I do understand Dutch, but I don't speak it fluently. And still, when I started working, my Dutch level was like 0. And I still got the job. So it's really,
Yeah, same. I already done like 2 jobs, and none of them like require Dutch. So it's quite easy to find a job even if you don't speak Dutch.
Hopefully, it's a well-paid job for a student.
Hopefully.
Okay, I see. Other very interesting question. I would like to catch up on them later, but I see one kind of different question here. Candela from Spain. Does a student need to know math on a higher level? This is a technical question.
Technically not, but it also depends on you and what you want to learn. Because if you're going into finance and you want to learn something really deep into finance, you might need some math skills, but usually, at least on the first level, I wouldn't say that you really need to have a high level of math.
Okay. And the rest also relate to that?
Yes.
Okay. It seems that math is a scary subject for the majority of the students. Hopefully, they don't need to catch up with that very much. I would like to go back to the other actually interesting questions, which is really related to the cultural shock. I would like to know what are the surprises facts when you arrived in the Netherlands at the first
Yes, I had cultural shock.
I would expect.
Yes, here's a lot of bikes.
Okay.
Everybody drive bike. It's crazy because all of movements you can reach everywhere you want with a bike.
Yes.
And it's make your glances and your possibility to move in city much easier. Same time, when you walk, they are annoying because they drive fast. That's what's shock, and everybody, also young, also older people, everybody drive bike.
Okay.
For me, it was shock because I don't like drive bike.
Any other observation you had when you arrived?
Yeah, actually, for me, a major cultural shock at the beginning was while getting feedback. I noticed that I would get a lot of very honest, extremely honest feedback.
Direct people?
Very direct, exactly. Dutch people are amazing. They tend to be very direct. That's double-edged knife sometimes because, of course, especially if you're getting a feedback, you get the opportunity to really know where you're doing wrong or what you can improve on, which is very good. But then on the other hand, if you're not used to that culturally from where you're from, then of course you can tend to feel a bit hurt. But that's also something that I think you get to adjust to with the time. And now I feel like I'm also very direct myself right now, and I feel like I can really be open to anyone about anything. So it's definitely I don't know, you really learn from that, I guess.
And how about food?
Unhealthy. Unhealthy food. Well, if you talk about fish is amazing. Fish is best food. The fricandels, all of this stuff, it's unhealthy. So if you do some sport or fitness, you don't need to eat that. A lot of frites, how to call it in English?
Fries.
Well, it's well delicious, but it's what it is.
But gladly we have options and we have choices.
Yeah.
I think choices are available when it's come to food.
Yeah.
Yes?
But there are a lot of cultures here in this city. I mean, a lot of different restaurants. You can find Italian, Turkish, Vietnamese.
that's
I
true.
mean, you don't miss anything.
Okay, good.
It's such an international city that you have
Yes.
actually a lot of options from different cultures and different foods. So
Yeah.
you really have a lot of options.
I mean, there are lots of fast food, but at the same time, there are lots of restaurants where you can eat like literally everything. So
Yeah, truly. And also, especially if you're a vegetarian like myself, I feel like there's a lot of options when you go out. It's not like you always struggle in choosing where to go eat based on the fact that you're a vegetarian, maybe you don't eat meat and fish, but it's really, there's always going to be an option, vegetarian option, no matter where you go.
Okay, I spot two other questions actually. Daniel from Moldova asked that she's worried, or he is worried about the English level. He wants to know if what would be the English level satisfied with this IB?
I think B1 is the basic. I mean, I was also not really sure about my English level when I arrived here, but then talking with people, also working, talking with coaches, and also we have English classes here. I mean, you can learn always something more. Actually, you can also study Spanish and German and French.
Okay. And one other question left, and I say it's interesting to say that one Ika from Canada actually is probably she or he is interested. Can you study languages in this program?
She
That's
just
what
said.
exactly.
Yeah,
Sorry, I messed up.
Yeah, but for example, I'm studying, for example, Spanish, but I know also lots of people that are taking course of Dutch.
Yeah, also Dutch. I
Yeah,
forgot.
I am taking a Dutch
I
course.
also studied French last year.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining this discussion panel. I hope you find some information to your questions. I hope this panel discussion was helpful to make your own decision very efficient, and hopefully to see you here in Maastricht.
Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this online open day at International Business School Maastricht. We hope to see you next year. Well, I will see you online maybe. Frank will be here welcoming you with open arms, right, Frank?
Absolutely.
All right. We wish you a really wonderful day. Follow us on Instagram to stay updated about all the news of the onboarding. We will blend in an email address that you can contact for any more or further questions. Really, any questions are welcome. You can send them to the email address, and we're happy to answer your questions. Have a great day and see you next study year. Bye, guys.
See you in Maastricht. Bye-bye.